Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Go!
Welcome to the Night Show. I'm your host, Olivia Rudek, and have I got a show for you. Our topic tonight is none other than the gospel of the New South. But first, the South. For those of you who don't know, Reconstruction is officially over. As of right now, newly elected Rutherford B. Hayes has withdrawn all federal troops, leaving the Southern governments to govern themselves and basically regressed to the mess it was before the war. In the wake of this brilliant idea, one man, Henry Grady, has decided to take matters into his own hands. Grady has recently published a series of editorials called The New South, which calls for economic diversity and laissez-faire capitalism. That's right, in an attempt to fix the Southern economy, the South thinks the government should leave it alone, or put it off. Something we can all relate to. But you know, this is great. This is really smart, actually, because ignoring the economy in the South worked out great before. I mean, this is exactly what led our country to civil war in the first place. We've placed biased leaders in charge of the South who have already found a new form of unfair labor. And if you can't accept that slavery is immoral, accept that it wasn't good for the economy due to the fact it created an aristocracy. But reports are saying that the South is on the path to a more industrialized economy. Local governments are offering tax exemptions to investors to start new industries and offering low-wage labor. While it may not be the best solution, at least people will have some money in their pockets, hopefully bringing the South out of poverty and destruction. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. My guest tonight is none other than George Washington. Not that one. My guest tonight is not the founding father, but a man much more alive, who is pushing for agricultural diversity in the cotton-dependent South. Everybody give it up for George Washington Carver. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
So, George, what can you tell us about the impending agricultural crisis of the South?
Well, I am a scientist from the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, where me and my colleagues work to increase agricultural diversity in the South in hopes of revitalizing our soil.
And how do you plan to do that?
Well, right now we're focusing on the peanut plant, among others, and using it to revive the nutrients that were stripped from our soil from the heavy cotton farming. Cultivating cotton uses a lot of nutrients that kill the soil and prevent it from being able to sustain the cotton crops.
And how's that going for you?
Honestly, it's not going that well. Because cotton still rules the South. Not many people want to accept the fact that cotton is hurting our economy. It's also not ideal that the Southern economy is still so dependent on cotton. In order for the Southern economy to flourish, it needs to become more diversified. If something happens to cotton production in the South, there is nothing for them to fall back on to sustain their economy.
Science is amazing. Great talking to you, George.
Anytime.
Now, switching gears, let's talk about the economic progress made in the South. The South's economic supporters have said that it is improving the economy, but its critics say the negatives far outweigh the good. Here to discuss this subject are two of our Southern economic correspondents, Sarah Sedgwick and Tori Rose. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Olivia. Thank you for having us on tonight.
It's my pleasure. So, Tori, people are saying that the South is economically progressing. What do you think?
Well, Olivia, during Reconstruction, many Southerners were very hesitant to change their farming ways. They tried using the idea of sharecropping, a clever way to continue their plantation farming, while technically not enslaving anyone. However, a majority of former slaves were still kept in economic bondage.
Wait. That doesn't mean the South isn't progressing.
What do you mean, Sarah?
Much of the South has finally realized that the way to make it out of this depression that they are in is to hop aboard the industry train. Toot toot. Speaking of trains, after the war, the South's railroad system greatly expanded. This helped the trade and overall helped them industrialize more, which is exactly what they needed to get their economy right on track.
But Northern investors still control 75% of railroads. Most of the money made from the railroads goes into the North's pocketbook, not the South's checking account.
But Tori, you can't deny the South's growing economy. Birmingham has become a major steel center, one of the biggest in the country. In fact, many are calling it a symbol of the New South. Richmond, Virginia is leading in the tobacco industry. Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina are all now chief textile producers. Thanks to the new textile industries, 100,000 workers have jobs. Instead of the Southern plantations simply growing cotton and then leaving it up to someone else to process it and sell it as fabric, they are now able to do it themselves, making them much more of a profit than they were before.
100,000 white workers. The South still has the highest unemployment rate in the country, and Southern workers are paid half as much as workers in the North. And due to its lack of unions, they can't lobby for higher wages or safer working conditions. The Southern workers are largely concerned about their family units. 100,000 workers isn't a lot if you look at the entire working population of the South. Most people are still in their traditional roles of farmers and sharecroppers and can barely make ends meet. 75% of black farmers and 50% of white farmers are tenant farmers. They're forced to borrow farm tools with a mortgage. We're talking about a rake here, not a house.
So, Tori, what's causing this? Is it the northern investors?
No, it's largely due to the South's late start to industrialization and the reluctancy of Southern plantation owners to change their ways. Their workforce has little education, and very few Southerners have the skills needed for this developing economy. Since the late 1800s, few political leaders have taken measures to support education for both blacks and poor whites.
Even without a formal education, the farmers aren't stupid, Tori. They've created alliances. The Southern Farmers Alliance has 1 million members, and the Colored Farmers Alliance has 250,000.
That's definitely fake.
Actually, Tori, I fact-checked that, and that's correct. According to the newest American Pageant study, the Southern Farmers Alliance has claimed 1 million members. That's an incredible. Both alliances could have a lot of influence if they joined together, so why don't they?
Race relations!
Here we go then!
Oh, stop it! You
Literally
need to
stop
stop!
it.
I can't deal with you anymore.
We
This is
have done
the
this
reason
so
America
many
needs so
times.
many problems! This is ridiculous!
Can we just mute their mics, please? Well, folks, we're just going to ignore whatever that was. Apparently, the South seems to be ignoring some major economic problems. Regardless, that concludes our show. I'm Olivia Rudek, keeping it real and keeping it fresh. Have a good night.
Okay,
Sarah.
Edgar Allan Poe is just sort of like a weird guy. Affiliated, we're just on the right side of history.
Dang.
Ready? I'm
Sarah.
gonna poke you. You gotta
Literally.
keep writing. Keep writing.
Ah!
Ready?
Oh. It was too delayed. It's like so sad that guys don't have leggings.
No, it's not, because I would
Okay,
not
I don't
want
want
to
to
see
do like
that.
you're so comfortable that I feel it just makes me a more relaxed person. I think I'm a better person because I wear leggings.
And I'm feeling very attacked right now.
Olivia feels very tact.
Okay, we're
Tact.
Okay,
How
I'm trying.
tactful was that? Ha!
Okay,
Honey, we've been ready for a long time now.
I know, get out.
Okay, tell me when to.
That's good.
Okay.
Perfect.
Are we good?
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, Sarah. 1 minute. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Cut!
That's a wrap.